Okay, for the next part of our video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting on the primary coat. Now, we're going to be skipping over the base coat because we're using a black foundation, we're using a black primary coat. Normally what I would have done in the past is to have used a 50-50 mix with ink and paint because it goes on very light, covers up all the areas where I may have missed a spot or a spot may not be the right coloration, and it went on really smooth. Well, the thing is, now we have a new thing to speed things up, help things along, which is their spray paint gun from Gamers Workshop. Now, there's definite advantages to this. There are a couple of disadvantages to this. We'll talk a little bit about them as we go along. I've already played around with it a little bit myself, so here we go. Now with the spray gun, it works pretty much just like anything else. One of the huge advantages is I can go through one of these pieces very quickly. I can also adjust just how much paint is coming out and just how much propellant I'm using. So all of that is really good. And like I said, I can blow these away, do an entire section in a very short time. Now, one of the disadvantages that I noticed is when the can gets cold, that means that we have to stop and let that warm up a little bit. Now, just so I can show how quick this actually goes. You can see how fast I just did a sprue. Of course, that's only one side, but also by doing it this way, I'm also saving paint because as you can see, this is going down many layers. So, helps to save some of the paint. It's one of the advantages, but the speed is really the big factor here because I can blow these things out really quick, get the look that I want. Every once in a while I have to give it a little bit of a rest, but that gives me a little bit of a rest. One of my other big advantages is if I have some old paint, a little bit dried up or whatever, I can add a little bit of water to this, mix it around, and I can put this right into the gun so that I can paint quicker and I can use up some stuff that I may have just have thrown away before, but now this gives me this option. Now, as you can see, I can blow through things pretty quick. What I'm going to be doing is both seeing, with the amount of time I have to give this thing to warm up so it doesn't get so cold that the propellant isn't being useful, changing out the paint, and doing all these pieces. I'm going to see how much time it actually takes everything, but I'm also going to, at the same time, be recording my actual time painting. That way I can explain both sides to this, because this is probably going to be a project I do a little bit, walk away for a little bit, do a little bit more, and then walk away again. Now, like I said, this goes a lot quicker. Something that probably would have been a 4 to 6 hour project of going back over all these sprues. We're about ready to find out just how fast I can blow through all this stuff. So this is our second part, and I'll finish it up and let you know. Okay. A couple of things that I noticed by doing this. First thing was that I wound up switching between 2 cans of propellant just because it got so cold on one. These things probably weren't meant to do 25 sprues at a time, so with it I figured that I'd alleviate some of it getting frosty cold by going between the two. Another thing that I noticed was the tip got real dirty real quick, so I had to wash that off. Now, over the course of a little bit more than an hour, I probably only spent about 20 minutes worth of it actually painting the sprues, so it worked pretty quick. Like I said, it probably would have taken me about 4 to 6 hours to have actually done this by hand, so it cut off a lot of the time. So overall, I like using it. A little bit more costly, but a lot more time effective. So there we go.